the former Brexit Party leader, Nigel Farage. Okay, Nigel, I think Djokovic knew the rules. He knew what had to have happened, but he was also under the impression at first that he had, been cleared because he had some form of natural immunity. So is this really about the health of people, or is this more a political statement from Australia?
Well, this time last week, I was in Belgrade with the Djokovic family, who are friends of mine, and it was perfectly clear. He had been allowed onto an aeroplane to go to Melbourne in Victoria State. The rules in Melbourne State were very, very clear. In Victoria, if you'd had COVID within the last 6 months, you didn't need to be vaccinated. And on that basis, a visa was issued, and he went to Australia. And Tennis Australia were happy too. When he gets there, he's arrested, and the point is the federal government have overruled the state government, and Australia is pushing hard towards mandatory vaccinations, and that's what this is all about. Indeed, the lawyers representing the government said they didn't want Djokovic to become an icon. Now, you can read that as an icon for the anti-vax movement, or you can read it an icon for freedom of choice. Australians don't want people to have freedom of choice, so this is purely political. The idea that he posed that, one of the fittest men in the world, age 34, posed a public health threat, frankly, is nonsense.
And then I want to get the Australian Home Affairs Minister on his deportation. I want to run this soundbite, and then let's get your reaction on the other side of it.
We've got to be very clear about what the role of the federal government is, and that is to make sure that our borders are protected. We have always had a very strong position on that, and this matter was in fact no different.
Nigel, your reaction?
This is not about borders. Australia does have a very good border policy, and I commend them for it. This is not about borders. This is about hysteria surrounding a vaccine, and a vaccine that may make you less ill if you get COVID, but a vaccine that doesn't stop you catching COVID, doesn't stop you transmitting COVID. And isn't it ironic that Australia, one of the most heavily vaccinated countries in the world, one of the most locked down countries in the world, and currently they're having tens of thousands of new cases every single day. That makes me ask some really big questions. And I think what's happening here is, and I'm sad to say this, Australia is becoming an authoritarian country where there is no freedom of choice.
Nigel, I only have 25 seconds or so, but I do want to get your reaction to that news that Greg Palcott just spoke about right before we came to you about the French Open and how they're going to require all the players to be vaccinated. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, not just an icon, he will be a martyr to this cause. I suspect when it comes to Wimbledon in London, we will take a more sensible approach, so he may need to wait until then to win his 21st major Grand Slam trophy and to prove that he's the greatest tennis player of all time.
Okay, Nigel Farage, live for us. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.